It's always such a great joy to celebrate women in cinema, women who have delivered just great performances, memorable performances, and fleshed out, well drawn characters who are complex, not caricatures. These are the kinds of films and the sorts of performances that I think any fan of the Criterion Collection really values. And today I've picked out three from films that I don't know if these are like the first place that people would think of. This is a great performance, but I do. So let me talk about one from the 80s. This is an innocuous little film, sometimes forgotten about. 1985, directed by Joyce Chopra, Smooth Talk. Laura Dern, who, if you know anything about your David Lynch, you know about Laura Dern. This was a film early on in her career. She plays a 15-year-old black sheep of her family, a little rebellious, very believable in that way. And she has these ideas. It's summertime. She's going to go on a beach trip, something like that, go to the mall, hang out with boys, typical stuff, and you'll definitely notice the time period very well represented in the film. It feels 80s. It's wonderful. But something happens. Treat Williams, who's a great actor, really good in Once Upon a Time in America, for example. Treat Williams is an older man, teenager, whatever. You'll see how old. And he sort of starts developing a crush on her. And will she reciprocate? Won't she? And what results is one of the most devastating, quietly devastating, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of film. It just kind of comes at you in a big wave. And it might catch you a little bit off guard if you haven't been looking for the warning signs. And it's a film that leaves you with a lot to think about, a lot of ambiguity, ask a lot of questions, and you have to sometimes fill in the blanks, even frustratingly so. But I really like this film because Laura Dern embodied that young girl. Laura Dern gave that girl so much life and vitality and believability and credibility. And I think a performance like that is so critical, not just for women, but for anyone who is young and confused and dealing with a lot of different larger-than-life topics, and all of those get brought out in Smooth Talk. Great film and a great instructive film about, how much should you really rebel against your parents, against traditional safeguards, things like that. Second film. Now here's a film. This is Noah Baumbach before, and with Greta Gerwig before I would say she went down the more mainstream route when she was still acting. If you can believe it, if you weren't aware, she was in The House of the Devil, a pretty good actress in that movie. But I think she gave a terrific comedic performance, a really heartfelt humanist piece in Frances Ha. This is 2013. And she was just this really likable young woman who's, kind of participating, dancing, trying to get jobs in the field of dancing, boyfriends, maybe this one doesn't last very long, so then there's the next boyfriend. She has a best friend, Sophie, who gets a boyfriend, and then how much of a rift is that going to create in their friendship? Maybe a lot, maybe a little. It's the kind of thing that a lot of folks have lived through, even if they're not, necessarily have lived in New York City. But the whole thing is sort of filmed in the style, in the spirit, with the enthusiasm of French New Wave. And that doesn't really work as well if you don't have a super likable, fun personality like Greta Gerwig. And I think that kind of thing, sometimes when we're thinking of great performances, well, it's just a comedy, it's not a serious drama. And no, that's not the case, right? It's a great performance. It's so heartfelt, so fun. You feel so bad for her, trying to watch her get her life together. Adam Driver's pretty good in it. He shows up as sort of a friend or roommate, or we'll see. You could just say, well, she's like ditzy or whatever. But the truth is, she's just fun. She's nice. It's a feel-good movie. I like it. And I like watching her evolve and grow in her young life. But one of the movies that I really had on my mind that is that kind of dramatic, like Oscar intensity, right? That sort of performance that you just don't forget. And I certainly haven't. And I went back and looked at this film again. I hadn't seen it in many years. It's a tough one. Mikhail Haneke's The Piano Teacher, Isabel Hubert. That film, this film from 2001, like, oh, I'm still shaking some of the images out of my head because it's a tough film. It's a difficult film. It deals with major triggering issues all the time, all over the place. But this woman is like let's say like a collegiate professor, piano player, teacher, and she's clearly jaded and burned out dealing with all of this. She lives with her mother in sort of a codependent relationship. It's not healthy in that part of the film. You'll see if you haven't. But she meets this young guy named Walter, who's talented and really seems to pursue her, almost like romantically. And so will they get involved? What steps will he take? How far will this go? If you like Amadeus, and you like music, and you love hearing music, I mean, it's great for that alone. But I think you're also going to like the visual style, the shots that leave you full of just loneliness, kind of put you in awe watching them. And her performance, sometimes it's just the smallest, like wink or like, well, not wink, but a movement of the face. Very acute, very tiny stuff that you'll see from her. So much is communicated. It's tender. It's touching. It's disturbing. It's a film like no other, and you can tell just me thinking about the images, like it'll make you feel strange, and that's okay. I think that's part of the point of the film. The idea that we try to hide these things, from the world because they're unpleasant, and some of that's true in Smooth Talk as well. But I do warn you, The Piano Teacher is a tough watch. It's not easy. Those are my 3 picks today. Some stuff I've had on my mind. If you enjoyed or found the content to be useful and you want to click the thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. Share your thoughts, your recommendations for those, those performances from actresses from the Criterion Collection that you just feel like everybody should know about. And we'll see you next time. Cody in the Cinema.